secrets of different bills. Hey, don't condemn me, you need it, I got it listed here. You wanna make it, I'll show you just how to make it here. I got all the rarest bills, and I ain't done yet. Went from the finish to making bills like a prospect. Flow space and slashes to catching us with a law threat. You keep the medals cause the right one's coming up next. Only scratch the surface, still they try to drag my name in dirt. They try to bring me down, see me winning, you ain't like me then.
Yo, what's good, my nephews and nieces? This is your favorite uncle, Uncle Timmy, and today I have another special banger for you, all right? As you can see, we're back into the Pro Toon builds, and I'm gonna wrap up this little mini series of some really good Pro Toon builds with a center build that I feel like is absolutely cracked. And the build is called Centerpiece, so it is a very, very, very rare name, which we, of course, love on this channel, but it's balanced. Now, the thing that's funny is it says it's inspired by Vlade Divac. That is nowhere near what this build is inspired by, if you know Vlade Divac, because you can see the driving dunk on this build is an 89, right? But it's 7 foot, right, which is right there in line with all meta. You got a 256 pounds with a 7'6" wingspan. Now let's just take a look at some things that are really important here. Let's talk about the rebounding. Obviously, you have a 94 offensive rebound, so you're able to get that 99 rebound if you wanted to. But the cool thing is that you don't have to. You can just keep it right here at 94, get a max +2, and get your rebound chaser on legend. Like, you know, you don't have to worry about that. Same thing here. Your strength is a 90, but you need a 91. Again, I talked about this in my alpha build yesterday. I don't know why the dev team, you know, these guys make these builds. This is their job. Why would they be off by one attribute? It bothers me so much. But the strength, why stop at 90? You should have went 91, right? Because that would give you brick wall on gold, but you can use a cap breaker here. Same thing here. You need a sit, like you see you have an 87 driving dunk. Well, you can use 2 cap breakers and get it to an 89, but guess what? If you get an 89, then you need a 78 vert to be able to get the 1 foot pro contact dunk animation. So that's something to keep in mind. We'll talk about that when we get to the actual cap breakers, but those are a few things that just stood out to me that I was like, man, like, why stop right there? Okay. Now, there's some cool things about the cap breakers that we'll see, that you're able to get that 62 perimeter defense. And then also, in my opinion, you have a 60 steal here. You can get up to a 67 if you wanted to. So that's another way you can do that. And then, of course, you're able to get an 80 mid-range also with cap breakers by working through that. And then now you have to ask yourself just a few things of like, where do you want to go direction with this build? Because this build has the ability, as you can see, it has a 65 ball handle and a 55 speed with ball. So you are able technically to put the ball on the ground a little bit. That's why I'm okay with the driving dunk being so high. You know, I'm not really an advocate of that. But since you are at a 65, you will be able to put the ball on the floor. Like, you'll be able to get that, work from the triple threat, get a couple of dribbles, get to the rack. So I'm okay with having a high driving dunk. The 90 standing dunk is definitely a plus. You'll be able to get, obviously, rise up on gold and aerial wizard on gold. You can max +1 or 2 that. The 87 driving dunk, you can get the 89. The driving layup, again, that is just something that you're going to have to look at the cap breakers for and see that's something that's value to you. Same thing for the close shot. When you're playing a lot in the rec and stuff, these driving layup and close shot aren't just really on the pedestal of what's important for a center build. Okay, so you know, that it is what it is. Me, I kind of rock a little differently, but just keep that in mind. Mid-range, we can get that, like I talked about. Pass accuracy. Pass accuracy is an 87. And then obviously you can work your way up from an 87 and get some really good badges, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. So you can get to a 92 right now with this, but I think you can go even higher with 5 cap breakers. I'm not mistaken, I think you can get to a 93. So yeah, I'm pretty sure about that. Okay, we come here at the block. The only thing I can say is that, you know, 88 block will give you high fly denier, but you need the 80 vert. So I'm not really worried about that portion of it. So we're just going to kind of just leave that alone and keep it as is. But for the most part, this, when it comes to rare builds that are really playable and is cap friendly, cap breaker friendly, like I said, I feel like this whole setup at the end of the day is probably like a B, maybe a B minus. right, is not the greatest of the setups with the cap breakers. I really wish I want to drop some Pro Toon builds in this game, man. Like, I need to reach the dev team, because I really feel like I can drop some really good ones with some names. But yeah, so anywho, remember, you cannot make no adjustments to that. Do not make any adjustments. And then as you can see, you have this centerpiece, okay? Oops, let me do one more thing real quick. I wanted to show the takeovers, all right? So the takeovers, as you can see, you do not get sharp take. You're gonna have to get your cap breakers up to get that to an 80 to do that, okay? So I wanna point that out, all right? As you can see here, right, which is another one, like the barbecue chicken, the paint surge, and all that type of stuff. You gotta have a 75 post control to get that. I know some people wanna have that, but you gotta have the 75 post control. So again, it's not really, it doesn't really translate well in the rec, posting and all that stuff, because the courts are so small and people are cutting to the basket. They're not really giving you an opportunity to work in the post. Obviously you'll have Crasher, you have Dismaster, and that is it. Like I said, there's not a lot of options here for the takeovers, so I just want to put that out there. Crasher, and again, these are going to be like the ones that people are going to be using, like Splash Tower, right? Like, it's going to give you a 3-point shot, offensive, defensive rebound, or you have the sharpshooter one, which is going to be Glass Gunner, right? Again, you have that once you get the 80. Now, that is something that is important, to have that 80 mid-range, okay? So I just wanted to point those out, because I know some people are going to want to ask that. But you will be able to get the sharpshooter and the crasher take, which is the most important, along with Dishmaster. So the important ones you will be able to get with that. So I just want to point that out, make sure that y'all are understanding where we're going with this. And then now let's go ahead and advance to the cap breakers and break that down. Hopefully, and for 27, they will have cap breakers available in the builder. It's so bad that you got to load in to the dang on city to look at this. It's so frustrating. All right, so let's just start over here. You see, you have 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86. You can get an 86 driving layup, but you can use 3 cap breakers here to get an 80, which will give you like Giannis layup package, and you get your physical finisher on silver, and you're able to do a lot of good things here, okay? So that's something to take out. Then remember, you can have your driving dunk here. That gets you to an 89, but you got to use a cap breaker here for 78. So then that will be 3 cap breakers there. All right, that's just to keep in mind. So the most important one will be these 4 cap breakers here to get to an 80. All right, so this 4 cap breakers here will get you an 80 in sharpshooter take. So that is a must. So these 4 here is a must. And then as you can see right here, 89, 90, 91, 92. See, I thought that. So now 93 will allow you to get break starter on Hall of Fame. So that's something that you can take in consideration also. Those are 5 cap breakers there. All right. Then you come over here, and again, like I said, you can get by doing this just alone, these 3 cap breakers here will allow you to get and move on Forcer on bronze. I definitely recommend that. So if you're talking about off rip, what I recommend these right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I recommend these right here, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 cap breakers that's being utilized, but these 7 cap breakers are being utilized in important spots. And move on Forcer only works when you're in the paint. Or inside 3-point line. You're, as a center, going to be inside 3-point line a lot. So you want to be able to have the ability to stonewall guards or something if you cut them off, and cause them to pick the ball up or whatever. But if you have it on bronze, then you can max +1 at the silver or max +2 at the gold. So it's important to have that ability, okay? So those 7 right there, and then again, if you want to get 99, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that's 12 right there. Then 13 right here. And then 14 right here, because you with that 89 and that right there. And then 15 to get that strength to a 91. I know that sucks, but that will be my 15, because you can see I can use 15 cap breakers, but you can use these cap breakers any way you want. I would use that 15 there, and then I will just slowly start upgrading my pass accuracy as I go. But for the most part, that's what I'll be rocking with. But y'all let me know in the comment section what you think about this centerpiece center build. Is Uncle Demi cooking with grease with this? Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? If the answer is yes, all I ask is just please make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and as usual, your favorite old head, Uncle Demi. I'll be back really soon on the banger, man. And when I say back soon on the banger, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Talking about tomorrow, man. Wow.